Hello everyone, my name is Lena Tabasrinskaya. I'm a BPS accredited psychologist. I'm the creator of the Go NeuroClarity Programme. I was trained at UCL and King's College London, and today in this video I would like to talk to you about who the program is for and why I created the Go NeuroClarity Programme. I want to start by saying that I created the Go NeuroClarity Programme because I know what it feels like to be left alone with an impossible problem, fully alone. I created something I needed myself when I fled a violent marriage, and I found myself stuck trying to decide between what felt like the lesser of two evils. I wasn't making a simple relationship decision. I had to decide whether I should send my ex-husband back to a country at war where he could have been imprisoned for fleeing the military draft and sent to fight in the war in Ukraine, or whether I should betray my stepdaughter, my parents, my values, and everything I believed in. That kind of decision changes you. I lived in misalignment for a long time. I felt like I was betraying my parents, my stepdaughter, by staying in an abusive marriage. Did I want to be the reason adding to my parents' health problems and stress when they were already facing stress from the war and their own divorce? What example was I setting for my stepdaughter, a little girl that was only getting to know what life is, what relationships should look like? Did I really want to teach her that it's acceptable to let a man treat you this way just because you have strong feelings for him? At the same time, I also felt like I was betraying my ex-husband by divorcing him and sending him back to a country where he could be drafted and sent to fight in Ukraine. I know what it feels like to feel like a failure no matter what choice you make. I know what it's like to carry guilt and shame around a decision that was never simple. I know the price of trauma bonding. Ladies, I know what it's like to feel good for a short while under the influence of powerful attachment chemicals, while at the same time feeling guilty, ashamed, anxious, and trapped 24/7. I know what it's like when your body is attached, but your soul knows something is wrong. To this day, I don't know what happened to him. To this day, I don't know if he is alive. To this day, I don't know what happened to my stepdaughter. And for a long time, I lived with guilt and shame for something that was never fully my own fault. I survived abuse. I survived domestic violence twice. I protected a small child from her own father. And trust me, I know the feeling of guilt that comes with both choices. It's like in the Matrix, when you're given a pill for each reality, except both pills hurt. One breaks your heart, the other one breaks your values. And when women are in that kind of emotional and psychological conflict, people often say things like, just leave, just move on. Why did you stay? Why did you go back? Why can't you decide? But if you have ever been trauma bonded, emotionally trapped, frightened, responsible for other people, especially young people, financially or practically stuck, or terrified of the consequences of either choice, you know that it's never really simple. That's why I've created the Go NeuroClarity Programme, because women don't just need advice, they need structure, nervous system regulation, clarity tools, emotional safety, and a way to separate fear from truth, guilt from responsibility, attachment from love, hope from evidence, survival from alignment. My program is for the woman who's stuck in decision paralysis, the woman who keeps asking, should I stay? Should I leave? Should I rebuild? Should I pause? Should I try again? Am I overreacting? Is it really that bad? What if I regret it? What if I destroy everything? What if I stay and lose myself? What if I leave and never forgive myself for destroying my relationship or my family? I created this program for the woman who's carrying the weight of a decision that feels impossible, because I have been that woman. I know what it feels like to live with guilt no matter what you choose. I know what it feels like to betray yourself slowly just to keep everything together. I know what it feels like to live in misalignment for so long that you practically forget who you were before the relationship. And I know what it feels like to need someone to say, you are not crazy, you're not weak, you're not overreacting, you are not alone, and you don't have to make this decision from fear. Every day, women all over the world are facing relationship endings, separations, divorces, civil partnership breakdowns, situationships, emotionally unsafe relationships, and private decisions no one can fully see. And the statistics only show part of it. They don't show the women crying in bed at night. They don't show the women having breakdowns in bathrooms. They don't show the women trying to protect their children. They don't often show the women facing abuse and domestic violence. They don't show the women who feel guilty for staying and guilty for leaving. They don't show the women who are functioning on the outside whilst breaking down on the inside, collapsing on the inside. And that's who I'm doing it for. I'm doing this for my mother. I'm doing this for my stepdaughter. I'm doing this for her biological mother. And I'm doing this for all the women who never had the tools, language, support, or safety to make this decision from clarity. I am doing this for every woman right now stuck in decision paralysis, wondering whether she should leave, stay, pause, or rebuild. The Stay or Go NeuroClarity Programme is a structured relationship decision paralysis clarity program. It helps you understand what's happening in your mind, body, nervous system, attachment patterns, values, guilt, fear, and your hope. It doesn't force you to leave. It doesn't pressure you to stay. It helps you come back to yourself so you can make the decision from clarity and not fear. Inside the program, we look at why your brain feels stuck, why your nervous system may be keeping you in survival mode, why trauma bonding can feel like love, why guilt can make you feel trapped, why hope sometimes overrides evidence, why your body may know the truth before your mind can admit it, and how to compare all the possible paths in a grounded, structured way. You will work through tools, assessments, trackers, reflection exercises, nervous system regulation practices, decision frameworks, emotional safety planning, and self-trust rebuilding. Because the decision isn't just, do I stay or do I go? The deeper questions are, can I live in alignment with myself if I continue like this? Who am I becoming in this relationship? What is this costing me? What am I protecting? What am I scared or ready to face? And what would my future self need me to do? My goal is to help as many women as possible to stop facing this kind of decision alone, because it gets very lonely when you're deep in it. It feels like you're the only one facing this. You feel ashamed, guilty, frozen. You feel like every possible choice you make makes you a bad person. But you're not a bad person for needing clarity, for wanting emotional safety. You're not cruel for telling the truth. You're not weak because you're attached. You are human and you deserve support. If you are watching this and you feel like you're stuck between two painful choices, I want you to know you don't have to face this alone. You don't have to make the decision today. You don't have to make it from panic or fear or guilt or shame. You don't have to keep abandoning yourself just because the decision is hard. The Stay or Go NeuroClarity Programme is the program I wish I had when I was alone, afraid, ashamed, and trying to survive a decision that felt impossible. It's the first program ever created for women on decision paralysis, on relationship decision clarity, based on psychology, behavior change principles, based on empirical findings, based on theories of behavior change, of psychology, of the psychology of decision making, on behavioral economics, and so much more. I have studied this. I'm a BPS accredited psychologist. I have built it based on the knowledge I gained from those 3 degrees at the top London universities, and once again, as well as the theories and findings from the psychology of decision making, neuroscience, behavioral economics, and so much more. And if you're ready to stop spinning in confusion and begin making sense of what is happening in your relationship, I invite you to join me on this program. At the moment, I'm offering 2 versions of the program. There is a self-guided version that you can move through at your own pace, as well as a version where I guide you personally, and we work through the program in one-to-one coaching sessions. The link is below under the video. The program is offered on Kajabi. If you have any questions, please reach out to me via email, through my website, or feel free to drop me a message on Instagram or leave a comment under this video. Please like, follow, subscribe. Please remember, you don't need to know your final answer before you begin. You only need to know that you can't keep living in confusion, fear, guilt, shame, and misalignment forever. You need clarity, safety, and you deserve self-trust. You deserve to make this decision from the truth of who you are, not from fear, guilt, or anxiety. I have told parts of my story over dinner to billionaires, senior public health leaders in the UK, and world-renowned experts in the field of psychology, neuroscience, behavior change, and so much more. And sometimes I still cannot believe that this was and this is my life. If you want to get to know my full story, please click on the My Story video on this channel. And because I survived it, I created the Stay or Go NeuroClarity Programme. Because I needed that when I was struggling completely alone. I became the person I needed back then. And now my goal is to help as many women as possible. It is my mission because I don't want more lives to be destroyed by confusion, fear, coercion, shame, and emotional isolation. I don't want more children to be growing up in abusive family systems and carrying trauma that was never theirs to carry. I do not want more women to be suffering in relationships where they are slowly disappearing. A bad end is better than a never-ending nightmare. And I want to be clear about something. I will never tell you what decision to make because deep down, I believe that every woman knows what she needs to do. But because of so many factors like trauma bonding, fear, guilt, responsibility for others, financial and practical pressures, emotional attachment, hope, conditioning, and nervous system overwhelm, she cannot access that decision yet. My role is to help you come back to yourself so you can hear your own truth clearly again. Once again, the links to my socials, my website, and my program are underneath this video. I'm here if you want to chat. The first call is always free. Take care. You don't have to do this alone. In memory of my mother, my stepdaughter, and my younger self. Thank you.